Casey, don't screw it up. Right?
I won't break the mic in the next 15 minutes, right?
Would you write an industrial cleaning contractor?
Every day we do industrial cleaning contractors. So these are the guys that go in. There's waste that's produced from a lot of this manufacturing operation. These guys clean out the USTs, ASTs, basically take the sludge out, do some cleaning so these guys can keep up with what they do every single day. So.
Would you write for solar panel manufacturing?
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Solar panel manufacturing, it's more of like a GSP type risk, so it's more the product's pollution. If they're installing it, it's more of like a contracting operation, but we would look at either one.
Would you write for a fleet of 200 vehicles?
Yeah. I mean, depends on what the fleet does, depends on where they operate at, depends on what the loss experience has been, but I mean, the size of a fleet being 200 units is not an issue for us.
Would you ever eat convenience store sushi?
That's a hard pass. No convenience store sushi for me, please.
Will Berkley Environmental participate in an insurance tower?
Yeah, so that's kind of like a maybe. Kind of depends on who the underlying carriers is, what the risk is, and what the opportunity is. But we do have the ability to sit excess of other carriers, and in some of those towers, there are definitely opportunities to slot in a former life. That was what I did a lot of. And when you do that, though, you got to be cognizant. Why are they building to that tower? What's the driving factor that they're afraid of that could blow up, literally or figuratively? So you got to be aware of that as an underwriter, so you're making the right decision. You're walking into this with your eyes open, knowing what the risk is, charging appropriately for it, and just taking that on, and just having your bells and whistles worked out with your endorsements, and knowing the bells and whistles of the underlying carriers, so you know what that tower involves, what can go vertical, what your ultimate exposure is to the risk.
Would you write for hospitals and medical facilities?
I would say maybe for that. Depends on what they need. From a PLL perspective, absolutely. I've had an account that was working, trying to deliver a big piece of medical equipment. They had to move this piece of equipment through the hospital, and they had to face the liability issue of what if this set of flooring isn't standard enough to carry the weight that this equipment was going to move. So there was the exposure of this thing could fall through the floor. It could also get knocked the wrong way, and this radioactive material comes out. So this was a project that was going to take the coverages in place for PLL. We were able to kind of look at that and come to the table in a prior life. So we'll do medical stuff for PLL. A lot of these places also have Aboveground storage tanks they have to worry about. Some Legionella and mold exposures associated with that. But that's something we may be able to look at from a PLL perspective. But from casualty, we're not looking to do medical products, anything like that.
Would you sing in front of 25,000 people?
I'd say that's a no, just because I want to have mercy on those 25,000 people.